Hello, Nate Goya here again, and in the last video I showed you how I read and interpret a Life Teen Life Night outline. And the great thing about Life Teen is that they have a step-by-step process you can use in using their outlines, but they also encourage you to adapt them and to make them fit your particular youth ministry. So in this video, I'm going to show you the outline I make to supplement the Life Teen Life Night outline that shows me how I'm adapting it, how I'm changing it, things I need to know to make the Life Night work for my youth ministry. So at the top here, you see I have all the basic pertinent information, the name of the Life Night, the date we're doing it, who we're doing it for, and the goal. And then the first thing I like to do is list all the materials that I'm going to need for the whole night, be it for the gather, the proclaim, the break, the send, be it simple or complex, whether it's just remember to bring some pencils, or if I need to remember to bring my guitar, or if I need to remember to ask somebody to bring something in, whatever I need material wise, I list it all there so I can make sure I have everything I need. Then I follow gather, proclaim, break, send just like the outline. Although in this particular instance, this is where I'm deviating from the Life Night outline a little bit. I have my gather, and I have my notes that I want this exercise done in their small groups, and that the small group leaders are encouraged to participate in this exercise if possible. But then I'm weaving the proclaim and part of the send together. In the send, one of the things they wanted to have happen was for the youth to go up into the church and be shown the different pictures or stained glass windows or symbols that point to the fact that the church is about people and not about a building. So instead of doing that part in the send, I'm going to weave that into my teaching in the proclaim because I thought they would connect together very nicely. So I have my note that we'll be doing all those in the sanctuary, proclaim, break, and send. And here are my teaching points. Now, the way I got these teaching points is if you look at the teaching on the Life Night outline, you'll see that there's little subtitles. It's broken up into subtitles, subsections, if you will. And so I just read through that and picked out the 4 points that I thought were most important for the kids to know from this teaching. I do not try and teach them every single bit of information in that teaching. It's just too much. It's meant to be, that information is there to help me know what I'm talking about, help me feel confident about the topic that I'm teaching on. But it's not very often meant to be given all to the youth. It's just too much. So like I said, I went through those subsections and I picked out the 4 points that I thought were most important. Sometimes I have a few more than 4 points, sometimes I have a few less, whatever that teaching lends itself to. And then after those 4 points, here's the part of the send I'm doing, taking the youth up to the church and showing them different symbols to show them the church is about the people and not a building. And then I go back into the proclaim and finish up with another point or two, summarizing how the church is about people and how the church is also about them as people of the church, that by being baptized, they were brought into the church and that the church needs them to be active in it, to be participating in it, to be involved in it. And now when you do your teaching, you don't have to follow this suit. You don't have to do a talking point and then a small activity and finish with a talking point. There is no wrong way to do a teaching. If you want to do a video, you can do a video. If a Jeopardy game is what lends itself to this teaching, do a Jeopardy game. If a relay race does it, do a relay race. If it's talking, talk. If it's with music, do music. There is no wrong way to do it, the teaching, just so long you can portray the information to the youth. And actually, in many ways, it's even better that different people who do teachings have different styles of presenting the information, because then it keeps the youth on their toes. They see something different each week, and it's just good for them. It's good to have information presented in a variety of ways. Next, we have the break, and I have my note that the small groups can go where they please for the session. And then I rewrote the small group questions. They're still basically the same questions that are on the Life Teen Life Night outline. However, I rephrased them because I didn't think that the way they were phrased on the Life Night outline that the kids would get the point of the question. It was going to be too confusing, too broad. So the questions still basically ask the same thing. They're just reworded a little differently. And then lastly, I have my send, and I have the note that we're going to do worship music in the sanctuary as per the description of the Life Teen Life Night outline. So that's really all I have to it. there's not much more to it than that. The hardest part about this was doing the proclaim, getting my teaching points together, because you had to sit down, read the teaching, think about, pray about what is it you need to talk to the kids about, what's the most important things they need to hear, and then actually put that together and practice presenting it and that kind of a thing. But other than that, it's a very simple process. You just go through and mark down what you need and what you're changing, how you're adapting it, and it goes great. So best of luck to you as you're preparing your life nights, and God bless.